Okay, I wouldn't normally cover something like this, but just for a bit of fun, I'm going to cover this bell end here. Let's get into it.
A series so plot armor. Even Syikuno subscribed. In today's video, Hasan is now getting called out by mainstream media, this time Fox, right after CNN. This is after his...
Good. I'm glad that, the mainstream media is shunning Hasan, because I don't know. I don't like him one bit. I've never really liked anything he's had to say. Like, there has been a couple of things here and there that he's been right about, but overall he's usually wrong on everything.
Insane speech supporting dictators at Yale University, Hasan's #1 Glazer account and professional liar has tried to make a fan cam of him, and it is beyond cringe. He's now admitting that his speech wasn't even his true opinions, and he was hiding his power level to come across as non-controversial, while...
My days, he's a pseudo-intellectual. He's like he projects a false power level. He's actually weaker. He's like Hercule from Dragon Ball Z. He acts more courageous and more powerful than he actually really is, to be honest. He's not a case of hiding his power level at all.
Supporting Stalin, Hasan now admits that he wants a dictatorship and says that it's inevitable. Only Kaya is shocked. Streamer Syikuno has finally responded to the drama after getting exposed for cheating on his girlfriend of 5 years and being labeled a quote predator by people like Muujin.
I mean, that is a bit wild, that whole situation. I only really been keeping up with it because of the other, I suppose you'll call them slop tubers on here. But it's a bit crazy, it just shows you that how dangerous it is for men to be engaging in these sort of activities when they reach a certain sort of fame, we'll say. I'm not sure if I'd quote it as fame, infamy. Continue anyway.
His girlfriend decides to stay with him and calls out Muujin and the people who exposed him. Absolute cinema plot armor from Syikuno. Asmin has responded, breaking down the situation and explaining why his girlfriend didn't leave. Twitter is going nuts over Syikuno's response, and it is hilarious. Subscribe to join Syikuno's harem. Wait, no.
Let's up those numbers!
Now let's begin. Right, welcome back everybody to the legendary series. It is a special day today. It's the birthday of the legendary series. On April 17, 2025, the first episode of the series dropped, and technically there were a couple episodes.
I do like keeping up on these. I don't watch them all, but I do watch quite a lot of them, and I thought I'd turn this one into a bit of content. We'll see what has been happening in the world of Hasan. It'd be nice to see him, be dethroned by another leftist. We'll see. It won't be me because I'm not a leftist.
So it's before that, but I labeled it #1, and I ain't changing 300 titles. So yeah, we've officially made it an entire year. I think you should treat yourself today because you deserve it for supporting the legendary series. Thank you, and here's to another year of absolute cinema. Anyways, last time Hasan was at Yale University giving his Diddy Piker speech. He was quoting Putin, talking about how the fall of the USSR was the worst thing. He was supporting Joseph Stalin.
I mean, I'm just going to come out and say that, no, I think it was a good thing that the USSR fell. I mean, if you're angry about that, let me know in the comments, and I'll be able to laugh as you cope about it.
And mass murder, and implying that defeating the Nazis was a bad thing.
What was the point of defeating the Nazis if we went on to dominate so much of the globe as violently as we have? The fall of the USSR was one of the greatest catastrophes of the 20th century.
Now, he was also being canceled by mainstream media like CNN for being an open anti-Semite.
Bigoted state comments like,
wah, wah. I mean, I don't really think you should be cancelled for your opinions, to be honest. But it's funny when it happens to the side that were the ones that were calling for it the whole time, And live by the sword, die by the sword. I think the expression is, isn't it? Once I've actually managed to get it out of my mouth.
this one.
If they serve in the military and then they get their untrained, inbred asses shipped into southern Lebanon.
Piker has also posted comments such as these, where he unequivocally sides with Hamas.
Well, that brings us to today. The other side, Fox News, is also cooking him now as well. Basically, everybody is calling out Hasan. Insane. Yale University, who takes millions of taxpayer dollars, invited leftist streamer Hasan to speak to students about ending the American empire with violence. We need to stop funding these communist indoctrination camps immediately.
Empires never die quietly, and we must end the American empire regardless. But we must manage the retreat of a superpower from the world stage. This is a challenge for our time. Actually, this is the challenge for our time. Because if we do not do this, then the American empire will come to an end in a much more violent way.
You'd love that, wouldn't you, Hasan? That's what he actually wants to happen, though. He's not like saying that with regret or remorse. He actually would quite like that to happen.
End the American empire or violence. That's what he says while speaking at an Ivy League school. And that's not all that he said. The fall of the USSR, he says, was a catastrophe. This is the vision. This is what it...
I mean, I suppose from the Soviets' point of view, it was a catastrophe, weren't it? And that's why he's saying it, because he's a rabid communist. But I think from anybody who's got any kind of moral decency, they would be glad to see it fall. There's a reason why when the Berlin Wall fell, that people went ideally one way, but they weren't trying to get back the opposite direction.
Actually looks like to experience a catastrophe. Man-made famines, gulags, forced labor camps, mass purges and executions of political opponents, secret police terrorizing neighbors, no free speech or election.
Yeah, and a lot of these are the same sort of things you would see under a fascist regime as well. They have, as me and many others have said, I suppose, I believe we call it the horseshoe theory these days, but fascism and communism are two sides of the same coin. They are distinguishing features on both sides which render them not be exactly the same, but as I said, they are two halves of the same authoritarian coin, just different ways of enacting out in an authoritarian state.
Dissent punished, and ending all of that, as described by Hasan Piker, was a catastrophe.
Right. Yeah, well, Hasan definitely loves the gulag, apparently. He's going to be sending Kaya there with the shock collar, of course.
Ooh, I mean, if you don't know about this, if you're watching this and don't know what Hasan Piker is, he shocked his dog. And, I suppose I don't have dogs, so I'm not going to really weigh in on whether shock collars are good or bad. I know there's arguments on both sides, I don't really care. Just funny to see him getting relentlessly bullied for it, because, he meant to animal rights vegan type, so whether the kind of close line would all be on, far left side. That's what I've always noticed anyway. Not always. I have met right-wing vegans. They are a bit peculiar in my mind, but they do exist.
But of course, Hasan wants to end the American empire or violence, right? Now, I don't know what sort of violence he was implying. Maybe Hasan and his communist revolutionaries are going to take over, right? After all, him and his...
Yeah, Hasan take over. I mean, look at him. What could he take over? Not going to be leading no insurgency or anything. But if revolution did break out, he'd be one of the first ones that wouldn't be partaking in any more activities in the long run. They'll just keep it brief. He's... I don't think he's got warrior written anywhere on him.
Buddy Taylor Lorenz obviously loved the somebody has to do it crowd. They basically want you to actually go out there and take some sort of terroristic action, do some riots, go take over the government. Meanwhile, Hasan, of course, is not going to be doing shit. He will be sitting safe and sound in his $3 million mansion, saying how the American army deserves prison time, and while engaging in...
Yeah, you said that. Said all these things that I'm sure Pegasus is just shortly going to rattle off here. It's insane, really, in some way, the amount of things he has said in that, how popular it is. And I'm not saying people should be cancelled. Keep saying like wild, crazy things that are against the best interests of your own country that you're living in. You think you would, probably go live somewhere else if you feel that way inclined. That's what I've always thought. That's what happens if you go live anywhere else in the world. If you go there and complain about it, they tell you to leave.
The most luxury capitalism, we'll talk about how capitalists need to die. Also, I just love how every day he goes more mask off. Here he is literally admitting he's an op. I mean, how do you not arrest him at this point, right? He's sat there in your country, right? He sat there in the USA going, yeah, we must end America, right? And I don't know if it can get any clearer. He was literally justifying the death chance to America. Like, he's not exactly shy about these things.
If your entire existence has been defined by American imperialism, then yeah, of course you're going to be like, death to America.
People responded, Yale is now actively promoting the downfall of America. I don't care how progressive they want to be. I don't want a single cent of our tax dollars funding this garbage. Yale takes federal money and turns around and hosts Hasan Piker talking about ending the American empire. And nobody in power stops it, so they keep signing the check, so it keeps happening. Ivy Leagues and many American universities have failed terribly. To invite some delusional commie weirdo who's just profiting on pushing socialism is insane. It's easy being a
Amen. They nailed it, to be honest, with that one.
communist in a free country. Try being free in a communist country. That kind of goes hard. Secretary Rubio, I think it's time to get Mr. Piker out of the country. Always calling for the deportations. Somebody just posted his glasses costing.
I mean, it's funny as well because Hasan Piker refers to the Jewish people as settler babies. Argue about that in the comments if you want. I'm not really concerned with that. But it's very funny. Him calling of people a settler baby when he himself is what I think Americans just refer to as an anchor baby, like his mum and dad had him born in the USA, so that they always have ties with the USA, and he have citizenship. Now look at him, completely spoiled him. He's turned into a laughing stock. Really, be interested to see where his career is in 10 years if he is actually still involved in politics, or if he has managed to press the self-implode button enough times that he has just called it a day.
2000.
And I mean by that he stopped making, don't wish him any harm or harm himself or anything. I'm not a monster. Would like him very much to probably stop getting involved in the political, from my personal point of view.
$1 classic. What a shocker. This is not accurate because Kyle looks somewhat pleased here. Right, so then we got Hasan's #1 Glazer account here. The account that was literally caught lying, bold-faced lying, in a previous video and got community noted. So apparently they've made a Hasan fan cam and it is so pathetic. I have to replace the music here, but you'll see. Fox News has now made Hasan Piker its #1 target. Not even true. What are they so afraid of? Probably him inspiring more terrorism, I'd imagine.
I mean, obviously it's a Glazer account, so it's not actually narcissistic. It's maybe narcissistic to believe that they are preoccupied with your streamer of choice just because they are taking shots at him. I mean, you can argue, I suppose, that Fox News might see Hasan as a legitimate threat to propaganda, I suppose, and that's why they're taking shots at him. But to say that they're like, I don't know, they're targeting him unnecessarily more than anybody else, I think probably lying. But I don't really watch Fox News, so I can't really say if that's correct or not.
The left's new golden boy Twitch streamer doesn't even try to hide it. 34-year-old Hasan Piker not only hates America, he's hinting at a civil war.
A noted far-left influencer is declaring the Republican Party the biggest terrorist on earth. Brett, good evening.
I mean, if you say enough silly things on the internet, but eventually people are going to compile them and show other people what you've said. And if what you're saying isn't too extreme, then you're not going to really be you're not going to care that they've been disseminating what you've said. But if you're saying all this kind of crazy stuff, you're obviously going to have a hard time trying to defend that going forward, aren't you?
I think Hasan Piker is unapologetic for his controversial comments on a range of issues.
An anti-American far-left commentator who is named Hasan Piker. Now that he's being highlighted, Democrats are flocking to him.
She's not out there on Hasan Piker's show, right? For example, right?
The man to his left is a very controversial guy. Hasan Piker insults just about everyone. Where if you go back and listen to some of the things that he says, Carl, this guy's not going to wear well.
Their so-called Joe Rogan of the left, Hasan Piker, is back in the headlines, this time for calling Republicans.
Oh, he's not really the Joe. The left, is it? Because Joe Rogan actually has like a podcast where he talks to other people on a regular basis. Hasan does not have full on his streaming show that he runs, not a podcast, because he's usually on his own. Yeah, he has had other people on with him, but it's not like Joe Rogan where it's like that's the whole point of it. Joe Rogan doesn't make videos just talking to a camera like what Sam makes. Well, to be fair, he doesn't even make videos. He just streams. He's just a streamer. I'm not trying to like dunk on him. It's not like I'm I'm any better. But yeah, he's not doing what Joe Rogan's doing. Not really the Joe Rogan of the left in any means.
Terrorists.
Piker has a controversial history, and we've been showing you this all week.
You don't give somebody like Hasan Piker this kind of attention, this kind of platform. It only rewards the kind of rhetoric that I just described.
Hundreds of students lined up and packed into these rallies, and they ate up the anti-war, anti-capitalist, and anti-establishment messages.
That's him, Hasan Piker. They should stay away from him.
Yeah, they probably should, to be fair, though. He is political kryptonite. Not going to bode well for anybody that's associated with him in the long run. I mean, that'd be my prediction anyway. Like, I can't actually predict the future.
Bro, what the fuck did I just watch? Get the dick out of your mouth, brother. What is that cringe ass fan cam there? And the worst part is ending it with Kaya. That is so shameless, all right? He clearly got you on the shock collar as well. Doesn't it get tiring having to cover for him and lie for him all this time? I mean, I hope he pays you at least. It says that you're his editor or something. Also, all that stuff at the end was completely false. Saying that Hasan is pro-LGBT. You also left out the pro-Hezbollah, buddy. Mr. If they do it even once, they are to be killed. Yeah, very pro-LGBT. I think the funniest one out of all of that has got to be pro-humanity. Brother, he's glazing dictators left and right, justifying and hand-waving the
Said he liked the Hezbollah flag because it's got a rifle on it.
Countless murders under the Soviet regime. 10 to 20 million people. He's literally out there cosplaying as Mao. He was justifying the gulags, the famines, everything. Stalin Glazer. He was saying, what's the point of defeating the Nazis, bro? Like, I mean, he clearly doesn't like Hitler because he called Trump Hitler, right? So Hitler bad, but Stalin, guys. But the Nazis, guy, like, I just don't understand. None of it makes any sense. He's not consistent at all. And I think you need to give it a rest, brother. It's so lodged deep into your throat. It's going to get stuck. It's going to get stuck. You're going to lose your voice, man. You need to pull it out. Peer responded, I honestly think they're trying to engage some right-wing lunatic to get Hasan Charlie Kirk. I mean, the fact that you're even saying, instead of killed, you're saying Charlie Kirk is hilarious. Because you admit it's the radical fucking Hasan side that does this, right? Hasan explicitly threatened to murder him.
I want to fucking kill him, dude. I want to kill
Whoa! In a video game.
It's just not in a video game.
Yeah.
They aren't afraid, you idiot. They're using him to make the left.
You just know if you're in the UK that I said I wanted to kill somebody like that via now on this microphone, that the police would be at my door, lickety split. You know, they'd be not only at the door, they'd probably be beating the door down.
Look bad. Hasan is a gift to the Republican Party and right-wing media apparatus. It's obviously paid propaganda. It literally blew up immediately in all of the typical right-wing shit-posting accounts, and then from them gain traction in actual media. Dude, they're coping so hard. It's like any criticism against Hasan, it's gotta be paid. It's like, oh my god, these people are paid by Israel. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? How is it hard to realize that this regard shocking his dog is going to get negative attention? Moving on to Hasan admitting that he once again hid his power level in his speech at Yale. So, despite explicitly saying the most...
From when I watched it last time, the clip of him talking at Yale, he sounded like a bit of an idiot.
Controversial shit ever, glazing dictators, he was still holding back. I mean, if glazing Stalin is holding back, then I guess his real opinion is pro-Hitler. Twitch streamer Hasan Piker clarifies that he held back on his radical communist talking points of his speech at Yale because he thought the audience wouldn't be receptive.
More radical elements of my speech on purpose, because I assumed that the room would not be super receptive to it, because it's Yale after all, right? Like, these are the sons and daughters of incredibly wealthy individuals, and therefore my expectation was going to be that they would not be positive about.
Seems to me all those champagne socialist types are exactly would be at Yale. So no, I don't agree. It appears to me that you've sort of left-right dynamic sort of flipped at some point, especially in the UK, where now it's more working-class people that are right-wing and conservative because they're the ones being ground underfoot more than the rich are, and the rich have all these luxury beliefs about not having borders and that nobody's illegal, etc. So I don't know. I don't really agree, Hasan. I think you're an idiot.
such, radical statements. But what's really interesting about it is I was wrong because this diva cooked right after me.
Of the international corporate. Yeah, so that speaker was just a Regard Hasan fan parroting his points. And judging by the hissing I saw in the previous video, I wouldn't exactly say that he was welcomed or extremely non-controversial there. And I just love this guy fucking projecting, okay, all these Yale kids, oh my god, they're sons of millionaires. You're the son of a billionaire, bro. Your granddad had 30 houses. 30 fucking houses. What are you...
Yeah, in the USA as well. Not just 30 houses in, like, Guatemala. 30 houses in the USA.
Even on about?
Or properties, anyway. Not maybe just houses, but properties.
These rich-ass Yale kids, they don't understand the working class. What about you, you fat, privileged-ass polo kid? He was frog-end size. Never let him forget. Also, Hasan, you're looking very lame without your shoulder pads. You should totally put them back on. So he straight up just admits to loving dictators. I've been saying this for the past 50 episodes. It's like people are finally catching up. At one point, he was quoting Mao during the speech. It's either that or he's grifting depending on what audience is in front of him. He's not bourgeois. He has to work in order to continue to make money. Bourgeois do not need to work to continue to make money. They just responded lol because this person's such a fucking regard.
No, that's not true. All the rich seem to still work. Even like Warren Buffett and that. You could say that investing isn't real work, whatever you want to say, but they all seem to do work. Nobody really just goes, retires and just, rests on the money that's in their account. Not that I've noticed, not successful people. Maybe people who win the lottery and then go off and spend it all do.
He could retire literally today, okay? He has enough money for the rest of his life. I don't know how Hasan has done this. Like, how has he brainwashed his fans into being such colossal regard? And before you say, oh, this is not a Hasan fan, they're at his Hasan screams. Okay, so shut the fuck up. Okay, it's obviously a Hasan fan. Let's see their bio. BLM, NSFW, 35 black. Really? You know what he thinks about black people?
I don't give a fuck what black people care about.
Bisexual, sociologist, MA in social psychology, certified freak, Hasan Twitter. Oh, brother, what a combo. But yeah, somehow Hasan has convinced these people like he's literally the poorest man alive. He's just getting by, paycheck to paycheck. He always hides his power level around normies. His actual stances are ho-scaring terrorist pro-grape shit. Democrats need to ridicule this guy, not fear him. He's a fool, pat him on the head, and treat him like the unserious, overgrown teenage dipshit he is. So then Hasan admits
Based, that's exactly what you need to do here, son. It's really sad, I suppose, that the left wing is so devoid of anybody who has an ounce of charisma. That this person is the one that they've managed to choose to be... Well, not choose, but he's one of the most popular people on their side. So subsequently, he's one of their, a thought leader. I suppose you could word it, as scary as that is. Hasan Piker is a thought leader. Might even make that the subject of the video. That'll piss a lot of people off.
That he wants a dictatorship, saying that it's inevitable. We have this Hasan Glazer who posted this. It's a Hasan quote here.
One of the first speakers, I forget your name, had some interesting words to say, that there's always going to be power. I say we put the power back in the hands of the many, rather than the power in the hands of the few. If a dictatorship is inevitable, I'd rather have it be a dictatorship of the proletariat than one that is designed around the needs of the bourgeois class. And on that note, thank you so much for having me today. Look forward to...
Oh, well done. Very, very charismatic, very talkative. I know I'm seeming a bit hypocritical because I can't even get my words out with a minute, but I've only been doing this 2 seconds, so...
Right. So, a dictatorship of the proletariat, right? So the working class. Hasan, for the last fucking time, you do not represent the working class. How do people fall for this colossal regard? Every moron clapping in that audience needs to have an IQ test. How are you at Yale, honestly? Isn't this supposed to be like a smart university? So he basically...
People just like to hear things that make them feel good. They feel like they're being empathetic, even if it's placed empathy, then... the little dopamine, it makes them feel like they're on the right side. Oh, I need to clap for this guy. mean, I'm not approving of it. I understand why these pillocks do it.
Basically just admits it. He goes, okay, guys, the reason I'm so radical is because a dictatorship is inevitable, right? And because it's inevitable, you should just let me rule because I, Hasan, I represent the working class, right? And the past few videos I've been saying that, as a joke, that, maybe the inevitable long-term goal of Hasan is to become a dictator. And he's getting closer and closer to it. He is basically trying to say his opinions here that he absolutely loves dictators. He loves mass murders. He says that he represents a working class. He says that a dictatorship is inevitable and it should be one of the proletariat that he represents. So he wants to be the dictator. And I feel like Hasan as a dictator would be top 10 scariest things because can you imagine how many dogs he would shock? You just know that's going to be like his first order, right?
All the dogs, he would shock them all, every single one. He's a monster himself.
Shock every dog in the country. People responded, frat boy chat GPT speech. Friendly reminder that Hasan is the bourgeois.
Yeah, because to be fair, like, it's not as if I'm coming across as some savant at the minute, but at least everything's my own thoughts coming out of my own mouth at this moment in time, and I'm not reading no silly chat GPT speech at Yale.
Class. And given the first opportunity, a mob of proletariat would absolutely frog march him to the blade and then drive off in his car. He would prefer a dictatorship of the proletariat over a democracy, Lamau. By the way, by proletariat, he literally means his own fans, right? That's what he considers as the proletariat, which is not true. Oh goodness, the creator brains don't know what those words mean. They're going to think he wants a...
The Hasan Piker's fans have all got to be champagne socialists. The kind of people that... I mean, I know what they're going to be like. They're going to be in the comments when I finish recording this, to be honest. But, they're all tools that come from easy lives that talk down to the rest of us.
Liberal, commie, Nazi dictatorship. No, he actually just means what he says. God, he's freaking insufferable, the most intellectual on the internet. It isn't inevitable. People like him just want a leftist dictatorship instead of democracy, so they want to pretend it's inevitable and trick others into believing so. Absolutely, that is spot on, right? He's basically saying that, hey guys, democracy is impossible. It's always going to be dictatorship, so might as well be me. Might as well be me ruling, right? False dichotomy, a bourgeois audience clapping for the proletariat. The tradition of hissing and clapping is so weird. I hated the first guy's speech, but the hissing made it worse. I liked the first girl's speech, but the constant clapping made it worse. I agree, the hissing and clapping sucks, but if it pisses off Hasan, go ahead. So somebody responded saying fascism, but leftistly, which is accurate. Hasan responds, oh my god, please read a freaking book. No, read 1 million tweets like him. Nobody has read...
What book though, Hasan? I would be very surprised if he's actually read any books. He's probably watched videos about books, but I mean, does he actually read books himself? I mean, I do. I suppose this is the current book I'm reading from my local library. No, it's fiction and not non-fiction, but I do have non-fiction books as well, just not next to me where I am at the minute.
Read more tweets than Hasan Piker. Get on his level of education. Lol, I guess I made poor little Hasan mad and now all his fanboys are coming after me. Welcome to the club. All the comments are all, actually, it's authoritarianism, not fascism. It's a badge of honor to make Hasan crash out after this LARPer. Moving on to updates.
Well, that's it for the Hasan news then. He's a bit of a cringe individual. I don't really intend to get to a point where I'd be on his radar, but hopefully if one day if things go good for me, I'll be able to put him in his place on Piers Morgan or something silly like that. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? But anyway, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for stopping by, and take the L, Hasan Piker.